A prophet's journey introducing Elijah. Elijah stands tall in the scriptures as a prophet of incredible power and unwavering faith. But Elijah was also human. He experienced the same range of emotions that we all do. He knew moments of soaring victory and crushing defeat. Elijah's story reminds us that even the most faithful individuals face times of deep struggle. It's in these moments, however, that God's presence becomes most real and His love most evident. Elijah's journey is an inspiration to all who seek God. His life teaches us that we can overcome obstacles and find strength in even the darkest of times. God is always with us. He whispers His love and encouragement, especially when we need it most. Let's explore Elijah's story and discover how God's gentle touch can transform our lives. Triumph and terror, the roller coaster of faith. One of Elijah's most well-known stories is his showdown with the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel. Elijah, filled with the power of God, challenged the false prophets to a contest. He wanted to prove that the Lord was the one true God. A dramatic scene unfolded as Elijah called down fire from heaven, consuming the sacrifice he had prepared. This victory should have brought Elijah lasting peace, but immediately following this triumph, he received death threats from Queen Jezebel. Fear gripped his heart. The queen was furious and determined to kill him. The same man who had stood so boldly before the prophets of Baal now found himself fleeing for his life. A cry in the wilderness. Elijah's moment of despair. Overwhelmed by fear and exhaustion, Elijah fled into the wilderness. He felt utterly alone. The weight of his mission pressed down on him. The prophet who had once been so full of fire and courage now found himself sinking into the depths of despair. Under the scorching desert sun, Elijah cried out to God. He poured out his heart to the one who always listened. He felt like he had failed. He questioned his purpose and even wished for death. Elijah's vulnerability in this moment reminds us that it's okay to not be okay. It's in our weakness that God's strength shines brightest. God's gentle response. God heard Elijah's cry. He didn't rebuke Elijah for his moment of weakness. Instead, He met Elijah exactly where he was, in the depths of his despair. God's response was filled with tenderness and compassion. He sent an angel to care for Elijah, providing him with food and water. God knew that Elijah needed rest and sustenance before anything else. He allowed Elijah to sleep, to regain his physical and emotional strength. Then God spoke. He didn't speak in a thunderous voice or a mighty wind. He spoke to Elijah in a gentle whisper, a still, small voice that calmed the prophet's heart. Renewed strength, finding purpose in the wilderness. God's gentle whisper reassured Elijah that he was not alone. He reminded Elijah of his purpose and gave him new instructions. He reassured Elijah that there were still faithful people who needed him. God provided Elijah with a renewed sense of purpose. He gave him new tasks to accomplish, reminding him that he was still a vital part of God's plan. Sometimes we, like Elijah, need to be reminded of our purpose. We need to hear those words of encouragement from God. We need to know that we are loved, valued, and still have much to offer. A whisper of hope, God's unwavering presence. Elijah's story speaks powerfully to all who find themselves in moments of despair. It reminds us that God is present in our lives. He is especially near when we are hurting and lost. He understands our fears and doubts. He meets us with compassion and grace, not judgment. When we feel overwhelmed, like Elijah, we can cry out to God. We can share our burdens with Him. And just like He did for Elijah, He will respond. He will send His love and comfort in ways we may not expect. He will speak to us in a still small voice, reminding us of His love and faithfulness. Let Elijah's story be a source of strength and encouragement to you today. No matter what you may be facing, remember that you are not alone. God is with you, whispering His love and guiding your steps. Listen to His gentle voice, and you will find the strength to overcome any obstacle.